What's up, Lamer Gamers? This is Rowdy 5000, and I would like to welcome you to the pilot episode of Rowdy's Ruckus Rantings. Now, before I get started with this show, unlike the Lamer Gamers podcast, this one is going to be not safe for work, so language that you're not normally going to hear on our channel will be used. You've been warned. So, after that warning, the reason we decided to do this show is we were unable to record a podcast this week. simplyTravis and I our area was hit really bad by Tropical Storm Imelda. I mean, it just dropped a metric shit ton of water on our area, and Travis's house, where we record the normal podcast, is only accessible by boat. He's pretty much on an island right now, and I don't have a boat. So I'm going to be recording this at my place. If you hear a train, I'm sorry. I live really close to train tracks. I might be able to edit it out. Not sure. We'll see. So we were talking about what we could possibly do to fill the void since we couldn't record a podcast this week, and decided on some solo stuff that we could do. So after talking about it, Travis always thinks it's hilarious when I talk about games, and I couldn't do it by myself without editing myself like I normally would. So this is kind of how this show was born. Listening to edited Rowdy is nice and all, but if you want full unleaded Rowdy, it's got to be unedited. So this week on Rowdy's Ruckus Rantings, we're going to talk about a game. Normally, it's going to be games that I talk about in here. It could be ridiculous news. It could be all kind of stuff. It's basically just going to be me ranting about different things in the gaming industry. So let's get started. So for the first episode, I want to talk about Untitled Goose Game, or as I like to call it, Shitbird Simulator. This game I've been following for a little while since Nintendo did one of their Nindies Nintendo Minutes, or is that what they're called? Shit, I don't remember. So I saw this game on one of their Nindies showcases, and it seemed like a good idea. I mean, with the rise in these chill games, as people like to call them, this seemed like something different than your normal walking simulator or things like that. I first got introduced to this genre playing games like Journey or Flower. I think they were made by the same company, if I'm not mistaken. But these games are a lot of the times hit or miss for me. Now, Untitled Goose Game, I had no idea what to expect when I got into it. I knew you played as a goose, and I knew that you caused a lot of trouble, but I did not know how ridiculous it was gonna be. So first off, with the gameplay, it controls very well. I mean, you play as a goose. There's not many things you could do besides run around, flap your wings, and honk. So when you start the game, you basically start outside this old man's garden. And then you have a list of things to accomplish before you can move to the next area. So with the first part, I had to gather a bunch of items and then put them on a blanket to make a picnic. So I had to get some sandwiches, a radio, some vegetables, things like that. So to get into this garden, I had to turn on a water hose, and the old man gardener gets pissed off, he gets wet, he runs outside to outside of the gate to turn the water off, and then that's how you sneak in, and then all hell breaks loose. It was pretty crazy at first, because I didn't realize how much I was going to be able to do. I destroyed this garden. It seems like a bad thing to do, but it was super fun. Uh, Also, in this mission, you had to take and just ruin this man's day. I felt bad at first, but it's a video game. It's kind of funny. So, to get past this part, once I had finished everything, the last thing I had to do was make this old man smash his hand with a hammer. So, as the shitbird, I walked up behind him while he's trying to hammer in a sign that says no geese, and I honked at him. So he misses, hits his hand. Then, lo and behold, after he hits his hand, he falls through a gate. Man, it was ridiculous. It hits the ground, he's probably concussed, knocked out for a little bit. Kind of crazy, but then you get to move to the next section. In this next section, you ruin a kid's day. I mean, this kid... Oh, God. Okay, so you run in as this asshole goose, and you start honking at this kid, chasing him around. You have to chase him into a phone booth. Then you have to get into an electronics store. You have to end up getting on TV. You have to steal this kid's glasses. You have to go to an outdoor shop and just wreck the place. I mean, just taking everything they have, throwing it on the ground. It is a ridiculously awesome game. I mean, it sounds totally ridiculous, just being this asshole goose running around, just wrecking shop. But it's actually very chill. As far as the graphics go, it's very cartoony. Not necessarily cel shaded or anything, but there's not much shading going in between each of the colors. There's also no real expressions, or there's no eyes on the people's faces, so there's not really expressions on them, but from the way that they move, you could feel the emotion from it. I mean, it's pretty awesome the way they did this art style. If simplyTravis were here, he would be able to give you all of the ins and outs of this art style. I don't know too much about art myself. Just know that it looks really good. It's very pleasing on the eyes, if you will. So, let's see, what's next here? We'll talk about the music. Now, music is one thing that I do know. And the music in this game, it's just a piano. So as you're running around when different things happen, the piano will start playing, and it almost alerts you to different things that are happening. Like, if you've been if you're trying to sneak in and steal some shit, and you get noticed by somebody, the music will kind of pick up. It'll get a little faster. It's kind of a warning, almost like the movie Jaws. Whenever the shark's around, you hear the Jaws theme. Like Psycho, whenever the woman is about to get stabbed in the shower. You know, the music's really good about conveying a sense of urgency whenever you've been seen. When you're not being chased or something like that, the music will be real calm. If you're just walking around, sometimes I've noticed there's almost no music, and then when I start to run, the music picks up, becomes a little faster, and it's really cool the way that it reacts to everything around you. Alright, so another thing about this game is the difficulty. A lot of the tasks that you get are fairly easy. Find a carrot, put it on, the picnic blanket, steal somebody's shoe, steal a glass and throw it in the river, things like that. Now, there have been some missions or some tasks that have been really hard. You don't really get any instructions beyond it telling you what you should do. At one point, I had to be awarded a flower, and had no idea how I was supposed to win a flower. You basically had to walk up and be a goose. You had to flap your damn wings, and you had to honk at these people, and they like it. They clap for you and everything, so then they throw this flower at you. Although kind of difficult, fairly easy to figure out. Another section, I had to find a toy boat. Took me probably 30 minutes to find out where this damn boat was. And then trying to get said toy boat and steal it is another problem altogether. Basically, you have to turn on a sink. You have to wait for the sink to fill up for the toy boat to get to the top. But every time you turn the sink on, the lady that runs this pub goes to turn it off. So while it is super fun, I do find some parts of it fairly difficult. If you're good with spoilers, I mean, go ahead and just look it up. I mean, I'm sure there's walkthroughs all over the internet for this game, but it's kind of difficult. I don't know how many times I could say that, but fairly difficult at places. Now, as far as the length of the game, not sure how long it's going to be. I downloaded it on, let me see, Friday night, Saturday night. I've had it for 3-4 days. I've probably played it for about 4 hours combined, and I don't know how long it's going to be. I've beaten 4 different sections of the game so far. They're all in this like connected town, where it's a small little town that's connected by a little, I guess a creek or a river, canal, whatever, in the middle of it. And once you beat an area, then you move on to the next one. And then in those levels, or in those areas, you could unlock gates to get back to other sections of it. So not 100% sure about how long it's going to be in general, but it's been super fun so far. I have not hated it at any time. I haven't gotten mad. Like some games, when it gets a little difficult and I can't find out what to do, you just get mad. You want to put the controller down. You just don't want to play it anymore. I keep finding myself wanting to continue the game. So, as far as length, not 100% sure how long it's going to be. But I do have to say, all in all, I have thoroughly enjoyed this game. It's just been an absolute freaking joy. Now, with saying that, I can honestly say you should totally pick this game up. It's actually on sale right now on the Nintendo eShop. I actually don't know if it's available on anything else. But I know it is on sale on the eShop. It is a $20 game. It's $5 off right now. Come on, use some of those gold points, knock the price down. You should definitely get this one if you're just looking to chill out in between all of the ridiculous amount of games that are coming out. I mean, I'm playing this in between Gears 5, Borderlands 3, Zelda, Daemon X Machina, Astral Chain. I mean, this game made me put down all of those games just to play it. So I would totally suggest you pick this game up if you're into chill puzzle type games. This is going to be good. Plus, you get to play as a shitbird, man. You're just this asshole goose. How cool is that shit? So that's pretty much everything I have to say about Untitled Goose Game at this time. It's been an absolute joy. So this show, Rowdy's Ruckus Rantings, is going to be shorter than our normal podcast, which is normally anywhere from an hour and a half. This one's going to average probably 15 to 30 minutes each, something you can knock out real quick. This is going to be the end of the show. Thank you for joining me on this pilot episode. If you like the show, let us know on Twitter. If you don't like it, tell us how shit it is on Twitter as well. I mean, I'll take the criticism. I'm cool for it. But be sure to follow us on any social media app of your choice. I mean, we're on Facebook, Twitter. I think we made an Instagram. There's a Discord now for us. I think Travis has that listed on the Twitter as well. You can subscribe to us on any podcast platform that you could think of. Well, that I could think of, at least. So be sure to subscribe, follow us on there. I guess all I can say beyond that is have a good one, guys. Be safe out there, and I'll see you next time.